My name is Dr. Dunstan Lowe. I teach at the University of Kent, and I study the cultures of the ancient world and what makes them important for all of us today. A lot of my research and teaching is about Latin poetry. I wrote a book about how monsters were imagined in the 1st century BC. But today I'm going to talk about my research on ancient Greece and Rome in video games. In the rise of digital gaming, many games have been set partly or fully in the ancient past. Perhaps you played one or two. For a lot of people, this is the main way to imagine and enjoy, maybe even learn about ancient Greece and Rome and their neighbours. For example, if you were born around 2002, you might be interested to know that in that year, Eternal Darkness came out on the GameCube, and in that game, many players had their first experience of hearing classical Latin being spoken. These games are still overdue for the kind of rigorous scholarly attention that's been given to novels, music, film, basically all other older media. But in recent years, publications have begun to appear that study classical antiquity in video games, and I've been part of that. In one publication, I've compared myth in role-playing games with history and strategy games. In another, I've examined the strange video game habit of making Greek and Roman buildings look ancient and crumbling in their own time. And in my next publication, I'm going to look at ancient Greece and Rome in versus fighting games like Street Fighter and Soul Calibur. So how does this research lead what I teach at the University of Kent? Well, I'm working on this right now. Every year I hear from students interested in video games and classical antiquity, and I look forward to seeing more of their excellent work. There are three big questions to ask. First, how do digital games transform the ancient world? What do they do in order to make them playable? Second, how do players access it in this way? What experience do they get? What impressions do they get? Maybe even what can they learn, because this is a valuable way to educate people. And finally, what is it about these games that has such strong and enduring appeal for gamers and also developers? Why is it that there's so many games of this kind? And the supply is not disappearing. There's plenty more coming out. For example, this year we get Ubisoft's Gods and Monsters, and also Total War Saga Troy. So I'm more motivated than ever to find answers to these questions, and I look forward to planning future teaching and research in this area, because there's never been a better time. Find out more about what we do by following Kentiquity